Josh.
We've got Paul. Hi, Josh here too, and Paul.
There's Paul.
Here I am.
You guys might remember Paul. He was on with me and we talked about grading figures. And speaking of grading figures, Paul, have you gotten all of yours back?
No, so since I'm moving, I called them, and she told me she will call me before they leave the factory or the warehouse to make sure and confirm where I want them sent. Most likely, I'm going to have them sent to Utah now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you. You said I'm going to send it to you, and my heart
I'm going to
left.
send them to you. You can store them.
So, Paul, just clarify that you've got some figures out to be grading, is what I recall, right?
Yes, I have 58 that are still on. They're going to be on the way back like any day now.
Oh my gosh!
But you got the first batch back because they were under the platinum plan or something like that.
Yeah, the archival tier. So if they have if they're above a $400 value, you have to do the archival tier. So those ones have a shorter turnaround window, so they come back pretty fast.
And how many of those did you have?
I had 8 of those.
Okay.
Wow.
So 8 plus 50, how many did you say?
64 total.
Okay, man.
Hey, Mark Shabby Geek remembers you because that DP Luke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's got clout. Paul.
Just falling over. He trips and falls and finds a DT Luke.
I don't think that's how it worked, but yeah, whatever.
Well, hey, welcome to the Holo Chronicles podcast, where you can find all your Star Wars toy news and merchandise news and collectible news. We're in a fortunate streak here for the next 8 weeks where we have a podcast on Monday. Disney decided to drop their Mando Monday, just all sorts of merchandise news for the next 8 Mondays. This is number 2. And I will say that it wasn't quite as intense as last week.
Well, you're right.
I mean, there was a lot. I made a number of pre-orders last week. I did not make any this week.
Well, and I think it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
I think the pacing is right now, and we can get into that a little more later. But I think the pacing's right. Like, they smacked you in the face with some for our generation, some retro figures, and then of course Black Series always comes into play. Vintage collection, those kind of things. So I think they did that right. And now we're getting a little more, what did I call it earlier? Just kind of a little more of the stuff that maybe the people that aren't, that are fans of the Mandalorian, and maybe it's their first experience with Star Wars. So, things that their kids might want, to keep it rolling. But it is for sure a mania. It is a marketing strategy that we have not seen from Star Wars since episode 1, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Paul, have you made any pre-orders in the last just over a week since they've had the 2 Mando Mondays?
I did in the first week. I ordered a few things. The second week, I haven't even followed it this week. So I haven't seen anything that I wanted this week, but.
Well, then welcome to the show, because we're going to show you some stuff. And Paul, thank you for joining us. Paul is the first of many guests that we will have for our Mando Mondays. We wanted to bring in some toy experts. Paul, of course, is one of those. DT, right. If he's got a DT Luke, he's an expert. That's a given.
Even if he accidentally got one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's got 2 exactly. So, so again, thank you, Paul, and stay tuned for more experts on what we call experts. This is the people we look up to, right? And of course, you can follow us at Holo Chronicles on Twitter. And then if you're viewing us now, thank you. And if you're viewing this later, you found us at Beyond the Blast Doors on YouTube, and we're part of that network. So check us out.
Where we also have articles, and our podcasts for all of our other podcasts in the network are found at www.beyondtheblastdoors.com. And we're back on iTunes and SoundCloud and other audio platforms. We've beefed up our playlist on there too.
For our
audio followers,
which we have quite a few.
We do.
So we apologize. We actually sent out an apology preface to the 6 we were behind, or whatever, 5 or 6. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the chat.
Yeah, just trying to get through everybody's comments here. We got the usual suspects, plus You know, there's a couple names here I don't recognize. That's
I like
all
it.
right.
I
All
like
right.
it. I like it. So again, thanks for joining us. And let's just, are we ready to just dive right into it, or did you want to start with the reveals here?
Yeah, we're gonna start just because there's a lot.
Sure.
There's a lot to get through. We're gonna start with maybe a Josh has got something here recently in the last week.
Today.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
I got something, and even Paul's gonna share with us a
Paul's
little
gonna
something.
flex up. He actually has something that then he has to pack up so he can move it, which is great.
Yeah.
So you know what? Since we're trying to be sensitive to his time constraints, Paul, why don't you go first? So then Paul, you can just go ahead and pack it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's see what I've gotten recently. First thing is a vintage item. This is a no bump Jawa blaster. I have a vinyl cape. I got a vinyl cape Jawa that I want to have graded. The figures, I've got a bunch that are like so close to mint, but they have like small paint rubs on their knuckles. So I'm trying to upgrade the figure before I send it, but I got the blaster. Then I got these from Walmart, the carbonized.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I got the Mando and the Death Trooper.
Those are both carbonized. Yeah, they're shiny.
Yeah. And then,
hey, Paul, where did you get the Jawa blaster at?
I got that on eBay, and actually, the post office said they delivered it, and they didn't. And so I had to go in and talk to the post office, and then it showed up today, like 3 days after all that. So I was very grateful that they didn't lose it. And then my final item is I got 4 of these guys.
4?
Yeah, 4 more.
You're gonna set up a scene, aren't you?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of the Shadow Troopers, and so I think I have 7 of those total now. But
okay, I think he's
that's a whole Jedi Order a scene there, right?
Yeah, and then the big news: I ordered 2 of the Razor Crests today. Finally pulled the trigger. And back that. So we're 2 closer to the 17,000.
Hey, thank you, Paul.
Now tell us why 2. Is it 1 to open and 1 to keep?
Yeah. 1 to keep in the box and 1 to open.
How do you feel about the keeping in the box, Paul? I didn't get to talk to you because Andy went solo. I was out of commission last time you were on, so maybe you've already addressed this, but how do you feel about the leaving it in the box? Or is that an investment, or is that more not a monetary investment, or is that more of a nostalgic investment so that you have something down the line, maybe for your kids or whatever?
I'd say maybe a combination of the two. So when I grew up with the Power of the Force line.
Okay.
When I was probably 9 years old when I started buying those. And I'll never forget one day my dad came in the room and he's like, if you stop opening those, they're going to be worth money one day.
Wow.
Which is funny because they're not now.
No, they're not.
But I remember the next couple figures I got, like debating, do I keep this in the package or do I open it? And the first couple I opened and then I stopped. And from then on, I didn't open them. And I was never big into like playing with the figure. Well, once I got that age, when I was little, first couple years I played with them. Then after that, it was more like collecting. I like to display them. We built like custom pegboards so I could stand them all up on my dresser. And my mom was awesome with that stuff. Then when I kept them in the package, she made like these thread things and I could hang them on the wall in the little like ribbon. Anyway, so I stopped opening them and I collected just carded stuff for a long time. And then when I got back into collecting, I was like, the cool figures I want to open sometimes. So I'd buy multiples of the figures that I wanted to open. But yeah,
the collector's quandary.
The question.
Well, no, that's a good answer because like I said, it's the collector's quandary. Like, do you buy 2, especially when you're talking about a big ticket item like a HasLab project? Andy and I, we both went in on HasLab, and I went in 3 of the barges. Sorry, I was saying Jabba's palace in my brain. Anyway, I went on 3 of the barges, and it has if you're looking to invest, and at the time, I get it if there's collectors in the room, which there are in the chat. At the time, I almost felt kind of like not so good about buying them for an investment and then selling them at a higher price to people like in Canada who couldn't pre-order them or get on the list for those. But
But you did sell one to our buddy though at the
cost.
And,
I sold one at cost, which that made me feel good. And I still have one in a box under the house, and I'm kind of that's why I asked the question. Like I don't know what I want to do with it. I definitely want.
Paul wants it.
I know, Paul. How's it going? Straight across from one of those DT Lukes.
You know what? That's not a bad.
It's not a bad deal.
It's not a terrible trade. Man.
Yeah, they're about the same value.
They are, which would make me ecstatic. Anyway, okay, show's over. Got to talk to Paul. Guys, thanks for joining. So that's why I asked. So thank you for that. But it sounds like you had like good parents. You had parents that were one, guilting you into being a collector, and then two, mom was helping you display them.
Yeah, they were supportive. It was pretty awesome.
So I know Paul as being a loose collector. I know he just said he has some things, that he's kept in boxes and stuff. But wouldn't you say the majority of your stuff, like everything behind you, is open, right?
Yeah, now it is. So I sold probably 4 months ago. I had everything from the Power of the Force line up until about I had the ROTS collection, so through Return of the Sith, and then a big portion of the Legacy, all carded, like every figure. And I sold all of that to focus on vintage. Probably,
wow.
It was just too much. That stuff had all been sitting in boxes for like some of it 20 years, and so I was like, if it's just going to be in boxes, and we're moving more often now, it's like I don't want to just keep carrying around. And then I'm spending so much on vintage that I was like, I'm just gonna sell this. So I sold it to an awesome kid that was super stoked. Gave him a killer deal too. I think there was 435 figures, and I sold it to him for like 2,000.
Wow, that's pretty good.
You're gonna get some good karma for that.
That's like,
well, you already have. You find Battle Cape Jawas.
Yeah, there you go.
You better send it down the road.
Yeah, Nick, you're absolutely incorrect.
All right, hey Josh, what did you get?
All right, you want me? You ready for me? All right, today. And this was the product of a Holochronicles poll.
Okay.
You know what it is now. And I was in the minority on this poll. Meaning I voted and a couple other suckers. And then the majority were not fans of what I'm about to reveal. But I don't care. And that's the best part about collecting, is that you can choose to collect whatever you want.
Yes.
And who cares what anyone else thinks? Especially when you're a full-grown man with a room full of toys. Who cares?
You can collect whatever you want.
Who cares?
I can criticize.
I don't care. I'm going full screen here because I'm about to pull it out, and I am more happy with this than I thought I would be.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So here it is, because it tis the season.
Pretty much.
Oh, pretty much. Come on. It started like the end of September. Oh, whoops, he's upside down. Bam! Look at that beauty. Look at him. Look at Babu. Look at Babu. He's so cute. He's like a little Babu on the shelf.
Yeah. Babu on the
And guess what?
The banister.
And guess what?
That's a sweet looking Nerf gun he's got too. Snowblower.
Look. I don't care. I don't get why you don't like these. These are the perfect representation of Christmas, the holiday season, and Star Wars.
Star Wars holiday special. Yeah.
No, man, you're just
bah humbug.
Angry, I think. So, and by the way, this is definitely a take it out of the box. These will be displayed and maybe moved around.
Yeah.
The elf on the shelf does visit our house. That's a tradition that's been going on for over 10 years.
Okay.
And I guarantee that this trooper is going to have him, arrested at some point or missing a shot, probably more than likely.
Follow-up question here to your decor, your holiday decor.
Fine. Taking them out now.
Did you just get the one? Or are you going to
get the only one that's shown up so far?
Okay,
you and I already went through this offline, where I was like, I know that I was stoked on these, and nobody else was, according to the poll. But no, I mean, honestly, in the chat, what do you guys think? I mean, is this terrible?
The poll was 70% of the people, and there was like 120 people that voted. 70% said not for me, no thank you. 30% said, gotta have it. So
Yeah.
those are the choices. That's how it was distributed.
It's coming out of the box.
What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I'm a no-go. I've bought a lot. I've gone with all the holiday figures in the past, and I've sold them all now. So,
Paul, stop it.
JD says, "Oh goodness, you
oh,
did
look at
it."
he opened it.
Oh, of course, I said this. Oh, come
It's
on.
too small. I gotta
small.
focus.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, don't you? Look at him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Babu.
I do agree with the Nerf gun comparison. However, again, I don't care. I don't care what you think.
Nick says he has the same leaf blower.
I don't care. This is a lot like Paul's no bump friggin' Jawa blaster.
Kinda. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's kind of like that, like except in 40 years, 50 years.
You never know. Hey, you never know.
Never know.
Oh, I might.
Oh, look at the scarf. This gentleman is very handsome, though. He's got good style. This is Calrissian style here, man. All right, go on without me.
I'm going through the comments here.
And by the way, half the not stupid. I almost said half the stupid people. You know what? What does Shabby say? Absolute tat. I don't know what that means. Speak English, Shabby.
He is speaking.
I know, but like our English.
He's speaking the Queen's English.
Absolute tat.
I think that's rhymes with shat.
It probably does.
Yeah, the next comment is about toilet lids, so I think you're right, Andy.
Yeah, the toilet lid Christmas trooper. That's the Santa. That's the Santa trooper.
Sorry, guys. I just didn't know that some people were terrible.
Yeah. Well, 30%.
You know what though? Check this out.
30% are
articulating wrists. That's a bonus. I gotta get my stupid head out of the way. Yeah, it's not gonna work. You gotta. Articulating wrists. That's you don't get that on every Black Series, do you, Mark?
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. This one's solid. Gosh, you really are negative. All right, go on. What do you got, Andy? Are you ready? Stop it.
I got something actually for us. We got something, Josh.
Oh, so this is like double Christmas for me.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to walk over and hand you yours. Hold on here.
Oh.
You can be excited about it.
Should I zoom in on you then?
No.
I'm just kidding. I haven't flipped him over yet.
Okay.
I'm stoked about these.
Now you
these
remember.
Cool. Now
and this fits in perfect with the season 2 of Mando dropping and some little reveals in the episode and anyway, go ahead. Show them what you got.
Are you ready?
This was all right. Just show them first. I'll go into
the explanation.
I'll go into the explanation.
I'm going to go full screen me and then go ahead and explain it.
All right. This is a custom figure made by Jason Adams.
Ooh, look at that.
Jason, he's on Twitter. I'll get his handle up here. But he has some figure molds, and they're not articulated. I think it says on the back 0 point articulation, right?
This figure is hand cast. Finished and packaged on a custom painted card back. It may resemble the action figure from your childhood. It features 0 points of articulation and may not play well with the rest of your toys. The figure and packaging are both unique. No two are alike because that is a hand painted card. Yeah, I really like this. Should I show the other one? Or do you want to show yours?
No,
first?
Go ahead. Show the other one. Yeah.
Here's the other one. Look at that bad boy right there. So I do kind of like this because he has cast these figures himself. Look at that. We get a little bit of extra paint job on there. He's cast them himself. So this is not a desecration of a vintage figure, which could get us in some hot water with certain groups of people.
Right.
I think that's
I think Mark
cool. Mark just said that. That's perfectly said. That is very, and I, for some reason, orange is my favorite color. My wife hates it because I'll try and buy stuff that's orange and she makes me not wear it. But, like Hunter's orange. But these are cool. All right. Your turn, Andy.
Okay. So I got a couple too. And
those are awesome.
Let me post in the chat here. His Twitter handle is @Art of Jason. Art of Jason.
Cool.
And he's a good follow. He's a nice guy. Jason Adams is his name. And then I got a couple as well. I got 2 Boba Fett's. And so he's just it's a solid red plastic cast here.
That's very cool.
It stands out. It's very bright.
And this dude, he painted or what did he do? It's definitely raised. So he created these card backs in, huh?
Yes. Yeah, he created the card backs, and here's the other one that I got. And this one's kind of cool because it's a mix of colors of plastic.
Yeah, I like those ones. I like the little spotty ones.
Yeah.
And on the back, they all have the same decal on them.
With the sign, with the signature,
with the signature, yeah. Jason 2020 @Art of Jason on Twitter, and on Instagram, art_of_Jason. So thanks a lot, Jason. These are very cool. I'm very happy with these. These will look great hanging on a wall.
They're like super unique. This is the kind of thing you go to a Comic-Con to find.
Yeah, this is art.
Yeah, this is art.
And it's Star Wars figures.
Yep.
Which is like 2 of my favorite things.
Really? I'm just kidding. I like how you looked at me like I was an idiot.
You
didn't know that?
Did you not know that? Anyway, so that's what we got. That's what we got. We checked the box off that list.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited. Thank you. Thanks for hooking me up with that. Andy made the connection, and that is @Arto of Jason, Art of Jason.
Yep.
Just like it sounds. And that's on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can find that dude. He's going to be famous. Make him famous.
And he does other figures too. Just at the time, he had some Boba molds and.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. He said, "This is what I've got.
This is what I have right now." Yeah. But he can make other stuff. If you want a different figure, I'm sure all you'd have to do is ask him. And how he does it, it seems pretty straightforward. I don't know how long it takes him, but seemed to make it out like it wasn't a crazy process.
Right. And Danny says she would legit buy the cardboard art in a frame, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hang these up because that's how I'm going to display them too.
Yeah, you could definitely put this in a frame.
Yeah.
And then,
Awesome.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready? That's why we have Paul here.
Yeah.
We have Paul
here.
Paul,
are you ready?
To help us go
I'm
through
ready.
this.
Actually, before we move on, I've got a couple questions real fast.
Sure.
Okay.
First question, are you guys in the same place currently?
Yes, we are.
Same room.
Okay.
We are.
Second
Do you see us
question.
looking at each other like this?
Well,
it does look like on the screen, like
handed in figures, but that's why I wondered. I was like, I don't know if they're at their different houses. What? Second question, the stormtrooper in the background, the costume.
Yes.
TK1414.
1414 today. He represents our Twitter followers.
Yeah, so he's TK.
His TK changes. His TK designation changes when everyone follows @HoloChronicles
on Twitter.
I can ask more questions about that later. I was just I was trying to find a good stormtrooper.
That is a legit screen accurate outfit. If you
approved.
If you were a builder, 501st. If you do it right, it's 501st ready. That is not a 501st approved. There's a few things that are missing on it, but the paint and everything, the scheme is correct. I had issues, and this is a funny story. I don't know if all of our listeners have heard this, but I am not built to be a stormtrooper. Okay, I'm more of a snow trooper. That's probably because my thighs were not compatible with the British level thigh size from the screen accurate. So there are, so imagine this. I'll go on the rabbit trail. Let me go on it.
Well, I always like to say, Aren't your thighs a little big for a stormtrooper?
That's exactly what happened. Oh, and if Shabby's still in the room, he knows those Brits, they've got skinnier thighs than me. But anyway, so yeah, I went online and had to go to all these forums on how to flex the thighs out. And I've seen stormtroopers who are bigger than I am. I just didn't figure it. I kind of got frustrated and stopped. However, it was featured at that stormtrooper outfit was featured at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, where a buddy of ours, a BMBer, who is has less thigh than I, was able to fit into it. It was fun to put it on and see it in action. I'd never seen it worn before, and I have the boots, and I've got the blaster, the E11 mold, which actually also came from the UK. The outfit actually, or the armor came from Canada. So I can hook you up with all that stuff, Paul, if you want to know.
Yeah, it's on my want list. I'm hoping the same thing. I'm short for.
But you know what? He does a far better job tracking our Twitter followers than he would maybe doing charity. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, are you guys ready then? Paul, any other questions?
No, that's good. Move on. Sorry to interrupt.
Right. No worries. All right, are we ready to hit it? Because I got a drop. I want to hit the drop.
Hit it.
Here it comes.
Mando Monday Mania.
Yes.
There you go. I mean, that's all. We just want that intro, right? Okay. So yeah, let's get started. I'm just going to start throwing some images up again. Like Andy said at the beginning, this week was a little tamer than last week, but not too bad as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it was okay. There was some
less toys, more merch this week.
Collectibles, we said. And Andy was like, well, let's focus on the toys. I'm like, well, we talk about collectibles quite often. Sure.
If you collect Huffies, we got something for you.
Well, speaking of that, let's throw them up on the screen. Boom! If you want to be the coolest kid on your block, make sure you get a Mandalorian Huffy.
This is the way.
I can just picture little kids riding down the road with their faces biting the handlebar so that they can get their head in that mask and then biffing it. So that's what scares me a little bit. Yeah. And don't forget,
oh wow,
the Wizard of Oz version, or the ET version. Wizard of Oz was in the back. The ET version
in the basket in the front.
Yeah. That's
JD.
It says, "Where's the adult version?" There's. Come on, JD. There's not one. Let's hope. But here it is.
Oh wait, Josh. Backtrack 1 second there. Apprentice Ewok. He's more of a Snap Wexley than a Storm.
Exactly. That's how funny. I feel. But yeah, here you go. So Huffy has merch out, and this is why we said at the beginning that this could be as big or prolific as Episode 1. We're stretching out to some places we haven't seen Star Wars licensing in a while. Yeah, and now we have them on bikes.
And Paul, you've got a young daughter, and you might pocket this, for later.
She's pretty close to needing a bike too.
Well, comes with training wheels. I mean, I'm just saying,
you can add it to, it's kind of a dual purchaser, right? Would you ever buy one of these, Paul? Be honest. Not super honest.
No.
Oh, look right here. That will get you some serious street cred. Come on.
Yeah. It will.
I don't know.
Yeah, watch out, Salt Lake City.
Especially with those training wheels. So there you go. There's Huffies.
What's next?
All right. We can go. Which one do you want?
I don't know. Just throw something up.
Okay, I'm going to throw something up. All right. I liked this one. I actually thought this was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Still wouldn't buy it nor wear it unless I was, in Disneyland or something. But
that's because we're 43. We don't wear backpacks.
Yeah,
we wear man
purses. It looks well made.
That's what I was gonna say. It does look well made. It's got cool, and I didn't read the specs on it, but it's got some Arabesh at the top. You got the Mando logo. It looks like plenty of little bungee cords that you could strap things into, which I always love because I never do that on a backpack.
Right, because that's just asking to be taken.
Steal it from me.
Put your phone in that little bungee wrap.
or even a pen.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there you go. There's another Mando Monday release.
Yeah.
Here's another one. As if we have not had enough. And I'm such a hypocrite, but here's another plush baby, the child.
In a baby punching pouch.
Baby punching pouch.
Punching all day long.
This baby will take any punch you can deliver. It's a plush, so it won't hurt your fist.
Okay.
So yeah, I this to me, the only issue I have with this is like last week they had like the animatronic one that, you know, could
around.
talk and do all this stuff. And then this week they're like, yeah, if you can't afford that, go with this little guy. Now he looks super happy and he looks more,
It's got feet.
human than the child does to me. It's kind of got a baby face. I don't know. Not a big fan of that one.
Okay.
How about you, Paul?
Like
You know, one of those? Stress ball. You just squeezing him, squeezing the child. Yeah. No Star Wars line would be complete without a Nerf gun.
Okay. That, you know,
Screen accurate colors, by the way.
vaguely resembles the leaf blower on the Christmas
Hey, it really does. I think I can put it over here and everyone can see it side by side. Yeah.
So stupid.
Don't call it stupid. Don't call it stupid.
I love the dart gun though.
All right. In case you're thirsty and want to drink out of Cobb Vance's Stolen Head.
Oh, there's a lot of thirst for Cobb Vanth right now.
Oh, there is. Holy cow, the ladies are going wild. That guy needs to eat. He needs some. I need to donate some thigh to that guy because he is a scrawny dude. Anyway,
speaking of, did you know, Josh, that for the price of a hamburger, you can support the Beyond the Blast Doors network on Patreon?
Speaking of thighs,
well, do you want to get less thighs?
Yeah, you want
one less cheeseburger a month? You'd send it our way.
Where can they find us, Andy? Where can they de-thigh?
Patreon.com/ Beyond the Blast Doors.
Beyond the Blast Doors. Perfect. Thank you. We're here for
Good
you.
segue.
And your
segue.
Health. Yeah, it was beautiful.
All right.
If you were born in the early 20s, or no, I guess the 1940s, let's say, and still collect trading cards, the child looks on. The child looks on.
Okay.
That's Tops is getting in on this. Tops.
Sure they are. They
Sure.
always get in on the little Star Wars.
Sure.
New
Is
stuff.
Tops still a thing? Paul, do you collect trading cards
Nope.
ever?
I had some back in the day. I never collected them, but just they came with movie tickets and random.
Yeah, guess
things.
who gave them to you? Your grandparents.
Yeah,
Because they collected. They collected.
Grandpa's like, take care of this one. It's a goodie.
It's my Mickey Mantle.
Well, that one you should take care of. But yeah.
They're making a comeback. The child looks on.
The child looks on. Next up,
Fair question, JD.
if you want some Cobb Vanth on the back of your iPad, you can get this Cobb Vanth the Marshall / the Marshall device decal. That's from Fan Wraps. We'll move on. You might be right about Mando Monday so far. Okay.
Gallinarian Saber says that's a great diet plan. Donate your cheeseburger money to the BTBD.
That's right. That's right. You'll thank us. Can you imagine? Can you imagine all the fit supporters we'll have in the chat doing bench presses? Or they'll probably at that point just be talking about their gym day. Anyway, Tops. So Matt says Tops' cards are big money. Okay. Well, guess what the child says? He just looks on.
He just looks on.
He doesn't say anything. That's what we're waiting for. All right. Next, we've got another child looks on, but I think it's on a plate. No.
It's a pop socket.
No, that's a pop socket. Sorry.
Yeah.
The child looks on your phone.
What what's it? The Franklin Mint or something?
Right.
Like they do the plates.
Yeah. No, Bradford Exchange. Go to hell. I hate the Bradford Exchange. We will not be sponsored by the Bradford Exchange. But anyway, the child looks on the back of your phone.
Okay.
And here you go. Here it is. This is a big one.
Okay.
Cobb Vanth shirt.
Okay. All right.
Right.
That reminds me of like the wolf howling at the moon kind of t-shirt.
Exactly. If your Deadwood shirt has holes in it, it's time for a Cobb Vanth shirt.
Okay.
There it is. Look at him. He's skinny even in that. He's too scrawny, folks. All right. Here, we're getting into some better stuff here. Actually, I might say that one for last because this is the one I like the most.
Okay.
But there's no Mando Monday or just, I think, any day of the week complete without a pop. And there it is.
So, of all the things,
Okay. All right.
this one, I didn't mind it. I didn't like if, as you know, it's well documented. I went through a Funko Pop phase and I have come through it. But that because it's
still
big,
like the smell of cigarettes or Funkos, right? You still like the smell. Like I quit, but
yeah.
I don't mind being in a room with one.
I'll the Funko patches.
Yeah, you're wearing
a Funkaderm.
Yeah, Funkaderm, a Funkaderm on your hashtag Funkaderm.
Okay.
All right, that's Andy's new role. Hashtag Funkaderm.
Funkaderm
Yep,
patch.
yep.
Okay. No, but
Sometimes he wears 3 just to get a little bit of a high.
Well, this one would take 3 because it's a bigger pop. Yeah, the Mando is Funko Pop size, but he's on a really big bantha. Does the bantha head? Is it a bobble?
Let me check. It does not look like
Doesn't
it.
look like it. Looks
It looks
solid.
pretty
Very
solid.
Solid state.
It's tempting, Andy, though. It's not easy to cold turkey the bobble.
It's not. Sometimes you fall off the wagon, bro. We're here. Hey, we're here to support you. You like it though. You like it. You like it. You posted it.
I did. It caught my eye.
Okay.
We'll just say it caught my eye. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it. If you like it, that's fine. I like it a lot better than those Christmas Troopers. Danny says you're missing the Mando Crocs.
Yep. Are those exist? I'll go find them. You guys will have to cover. I'll go find them.
Nick says Funkerette. Okay.
Yeah, Funkerette's good.
Funkerette,
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because Nicoderm. Yeah, that's right. Thought that was maybe
Anthony says, I'm still sad I wasn't able to get the recent commemorative Topps A New Hope Star Wars radio drama.
Okay,
package.
see, so now I'm an a-hole. I'm sorry. I just didn't know that Topps was a thing. I just never got into it as a kid. I apologize. So Topps is still a big thing. And the Child Looks On could be worth tens of 20s.
I mean, maybe.
All right.
And what about the Crate Dragon model sets, dolls, plush toys, etc., including the Bantha?
Right. What about them?
They're yeah. I mean, I'm all in on the Crate Dragon
I am too.
stuff. That was pretty cool.
It was very cool. What did you think? And here's the deal. We're being very, let's save that for last because Paul's here. Paul, of course, you've watched chapter 9, correct? Yes.
I've
so
watched it.
I know that we're a collecting show and we're covering Mando Monday right now, but I think we would be remiss if we didn't give our own little breakdown. Correct, Andy?
Yes.
Thank you. I never know because sometimes you're doing. He's like posting on Twitter right now. We just don't know how to follow this guy, or he's doing something else. All right, next.
All right, we get a little vintage collection version of the Mandalorian in his Beskar. To me, this looks like all of the other Mandalorian vintage collection. I think there's been a couple, 2 or 3 that have come out.
Yeah.
And this just seems like it's another one of those. I didn't feel a strong connection to it. That's why I didn't pre-order it, because I, just like Paul, have recently gotten the carbonized and non-carbonized version, but they're not the Beskar version. They're the I don't know, the vintage version. I don't know, the old version.
But they're the episode 1 version, is chapter 1 version.
Chapter 1 version, yeah. So maybe at some point, if I happen upon one in the wild, I might feel compelled to grab one. But
here's what. Let me ask you this: since this is a 3 3/4, right?
Yes. And Paul, you're more 3 3/4 than 6 inch, right?
I've been more into the Black Series recently.
Okay.
Oh, Paul, we'll talk. I
just pick up a few of the vintage collections here or there, the ones I like.
So let me throw this out there. When we have the Razor's Crest, or Razor, is it Razors plural?
Razor.
Yeah, Razor Crest HasLab on the horizon, a year from now. Do you start collecting these 3 3/4 to help set up a display for that? Because,
well, it's going to come with one.
Is it coming with a Mando?
It's coming with a Mando, a Child, and possibly an off-world Jawa.
Which Mando though? Is it Beskar or is it non-Beskar?
I have to take a look.
So I guess that's kind of the question. Like,
I'm pretty sure he's Beskar with a soft good cape.
okay, and what is this guy? He's got a plastic
molded
cape.
cape.
Yeah,
Okay.
they say the soft good cape is exclusive to the.
That's the difference.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's why we have Paul. I told you we were going to have an expert every week, and Paul's here.
Well, Josh, we pre-ordered ours so long ago.
I know. I forgot.
I mean,
and by forgot, I mean I didn't even read anything. I just went bye.
Sure, sounds good.
Take my money.
I know nothing. I'm waiting for HasLab to just send me their updates every week, like they did or every month for.
Do you want to know?
Barge.
You want to know what the update is? The numbers are at.
Yeah. What are the numbers at right now?
Right before we got on, I looked.
Okay.
So it might have changed by a couple.
Well, Paul
might have
changed it by one.
Bought it a couple.
Or two.
Yeah, 15,328.
So
and what's the 16,000 mark?
We just reached the 15,000 unlock, which is a display stand. So you can it's on a tilt where it's kind of like banking a little.
That's very cool.
It's very displayable. I'm more excited about that.
Yeah.
Than I was.
The only issue I have with that is I'm kind of like, you should have been just included, but okay, I'm good. Yeah. I mean, unless does it have landing gear that you can put it on?
Retractable landing
gear? Yeah.
Good question.
I don't
Paul?
I'm not sure on that one. That's good.
All right, Paul, you're out. No more expert title.
But there is exactly 7 days to go. We are 1 week out, and the last 17,000.
You think they'll hit it, Paul?
Unlocked. Oh yeah, they're gonna hit it. So I'll give you an update. I bought mine. I submitted that probably at like 3:00, and I was like 15,190.
And now it's what? What'd you say?
15,328.
Oh, so it's kind of going in 100, probably 500 a day type of.
Yeah, and I know with the barge there was a big push at the very end.
Right. Well, we talked about that. Yeah. Andy and I remember we were looking because 5,000 was the funded mark, and we're like, come on, because we were 2 weeks in, and HasLab now has legs, right? Because the barge was a big success. It's a beautiful piece. It's something everyone should have. And
and that big push came also too. They only opened it up, well, at least for the barge, they only opened it up to USA for most of that time,
right?
And then that last push came when they opened it up to Canada and Europe.
Sure, and devalued the price. I get it.
Yeah. But I think they ended up going over like maybe close to 8,000.
Yeah. And this is like doubled it then. So this is cool. And the price point's a little better too, right? What is it? What was
350? Yeah.
350.
Yeah. So you're
now my question is, say they sell 17,000 of these, what does that compare to like a typical Hasbro?
That's a great question.
That's what I really am curious.
I think Paul, if I were just to make a guess, I think this is a very successful venture for them. Now we do know that Star Wars toys in general, back in the day, vintage wise, sold millions of toys. So, but for this price point, I think this is a very successful campaign. And I think I think that's why they're bringing more things out. As a matter of fact, I'd be surprised, or maybe not, if they actually had planned on that, or if they just designed all this stuff and been like, oh, that's
no. This got thrown together a little bit
because they ousted some. Oh, it was going to be
a Dagobah set with an X-wing, and that didn't go over well in focus groups, and so this was going to actually be a Galaxy's Edge toy, like the Millennium Falcon was. But they turned it into a HasLab project, and flexed it up a little bit. But it was probably going to be maybe a $250 toy anyway.
Right.
That was going to be, widely released, like in Targets and in other places, just like the.
Well, I think they did okay. I mean, I don't know if they did okay, but like with the vintage collection, Millennium Falcon was 400. How many of those sold? That might be your answer right there, Paul. It's like, how many of the.
And the Falcon has been it's pretty much the same as the Legacy Falcon. There's a couple differences, but that's what so probably not as many people that are rushing. If you already have a Legacy Falcon, it's maybe more like, do I want that? But I do. I'm really curious to know, like, how many Galaxy Edge Falcons did they sell? Is it more they made 50,000 of those, or it'd be really interesting to find that out.
That's a good question, and something we can research, see if we can find out.
Yeah.
I don't know, and maybe you're right. Maybe they do make 50,000 of a major run, but I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they make 4,000.
I think we'll find out pretty quick once they're unavailable and they come and you see them on eBay.
I see. Yeah, and you're talking. Are you talking Falcon? Are you talking
like secondary market?
Well, for the Razor Crest, demand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Obviously, for the barge, it was there. They only made 8,000, and there's people that are willing to pay twice as much after the fact.
Yeah, right.
Still, yeah, you can sell a barge for 1,200, 1,100,
or a DT, whatever.
Yeah, so the demand is there. You know what I mean? There's obviously more than 8,000 people that want the barge.
Right.
And so I'm wondering now with the big increase of fans with the Mandalorian, if it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, they might make 17,000 of these, but do 34,000 people want it, or 50, or And you have to be a fan, right? If you don't know what HasLab is, you don't know that this thing even exists.
You sure don't.
But you do if you listen to this pod.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Yeah, here's a good one. JD just threw this up. Somebody's already trying to sell. Is that you? Is that you, Paul? Did you already post it up? You already posted it up for 900.
Well, that's why I had to get 2. No, I really honestly predict that if you bought 5 of them, I don't think you're going to do too bad.
I see.
Well,
I see. Well, if I stop selling them, it cost to my buddies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a great question. How did we get on that topic? Oh, it was because of the 3 3/4. This guy.
Yeah.
Do you buy them to flesh out your Razor Crest display scene or whatever?
Yeah.
All right. Here's the next guy. Oh no, he fell through the table. Sorry.
No, this is a Gentle Giant. A Gentle Giant bust of the Mandalorian in his. I believe he's in his best. No, is he in his best car? I can't really tell from the picture.
If both pauldrons are Beskar, then he is. Yeah, I think he is. Chest plate.
Beskar.
Yeah, it looks like Beskar.
But that is Gentle Giant's offering. I always like those. Josh, you got a Gentle Giant bust?
I have the Gentle Giant bust. I sure do. He's not down here right now, but
okay.
He is Mr. Porkins. He is there.
A Porkins Gentle Giant.
General
bust.
Porkins at this point in my book.
Yeah, he survived.
He did. He did fine. They all survive. Maul came back. I mean, Porkins back. And can you imagine he comes back and
roasted
and
Porkins.
He is now our spokesperson for the $5 or the price of a cheeseburger Patreon campaign.
Yeah, he's our Susan Summers.
He comes back a little jacked. He's like, sure, I biffed it into the Death Star, but then I learned.
Then I stopped eating cheeseburgers and sent my money
to the Beyond the Blast. God, all right, that's enough.
This is the worst commercial ever.
Porkins. He's like, oh yeah.
What about? Let's see.
All right, last one that I have, last pick. I can go pull anything you want, but last pick I have, and this is the one I liked. This is like the one out of the run that I liked. That I thought, you know what, I grabbed that. That's kind of a really cool throw up on your shelf, and here it is. I liked it. Little Mudhorn skull.
Okay, that's what is that? Regal Robot. That's a Regal Robot Mudhorn skull. And you may have seen, like, when we featured Todd's collection a couple weeks ago, he had not Mythosaur. What's the Mandalorian skull? What's that?
I don't know. I forget what it's called.
But it was that skull. It was
huge,
this version,
wasn't it?
No, it was about like this. It was on a plaque, and
what is it, Paul?
Reminded me.
Do you know it, Paul? What's the name of that thing? We have Google.
I have no idea.
It. Yeah, I won't find it.
Anyway, Josh, didn't you get the sideshow announcement today? I sent you a picture of that. Are we sure?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
Okay.
Yep. No.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. We send a lot of crap back and forth to each other, so
it's true. Well, look up sideshow.
Kyr Bess is the name of the symbol associated with the Mandalorians. Kyr Bess, also known as the Kyrbes. Kyr Bess. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Its origins are obscure, and there are several camps on the origin of who knows. So you brought up something that was actually led down a dead end. So there you go.
So the hot toy / sideshow collectible. Look this up, Josh.
Yep.
Type it in the Googles. There was a Moff Gideon.
Oh, I did not see that.
Okay, well maybe I didn't send you the picture then.
What are you doing?
I'm
man?
sorry, man. I apologize, but he looks sharp and he's holding a very distinguishable, recognizable weapon.
All right, I'm still looking here.
Okay.
Is it concept or is it real?
No.
I got it. Sorry,
Okay.
I wasn't on Sideshow site. Give me a sec. Ooh, it is a very distinguished.
Paul, do you have any hot toys or sideshows?
I got lucky one time, and I went to
great.
in Utah. There's this place called, I think it's called NPS, and they basically, if semi trucks tip over or something, they'll buy the merchandise from insurance or whatever. I went in there. I think my mom told me, she's like, they've got a Star Wars statue in there, and so I went and looked at this. They had the Sideshow exclusive General Grievous.
Oh wow!
And so I paid $125.
Oh, Paul.
Paul.
And then I sold it. I sold it like 3 months later on eBay. I think 450. So now
Wow.
I kicked myself. So I should have kept that thing. It was awesome. But
Profit never replaces happiness. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Money can't buy happiness unless
it doesn't. But it does.
Unless it buys more toys.
unless
That's
it
what I was
buys more
gonna say.
happiness.
It does. It's what keeps the hobby going for me.
Here he is. Here's Moff.
There he is.
He's pretty.
I bet that's like a thick cape too. Like it's two pieces of material. You got the red on the one side and the black on the other.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course it is because it's well made. Those are all well made. The face sculpt looks pretty good.
It does look all right. It looks
dark
all right is
saber.
what I was thinking. That's I wanted to get I'm trying to get closer there. That's about as close as I can get.
That's pretty cool.
Does that mean that lights up his little chest piece? Because that's cool.
They do,
And they do that all the time.
They do have little light up.
Does that
features.
mean that the Darksaber lights up? Now
that would be cool.
That
Yeah.
would be cool. It does
So,
look like it.
like
Look,
it-
there's some
it-
light here.
Well, if you it's got a node in the hand, so when you plug the hand into the wrist or something like that,
Hold on, while you guys are watching, I'm just gonna sign in and pre-order.
that.
I'm kidding. I don't. He's not on my list yet, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take it. So that's that's obviously not the end of all the stuff that was revealed today on Mando Monday. But it is the stuff that we found interesting, and we hope you guys did too. So, Paul, what's your take on this week's? I guess compared to last week's showing.
I'm kind of happy. Honestly, I'm kind of grateful that there isn't anything that really catches my collecting eye, because I was telling Andy just recently, there's been more stuff that's come out in the last probably 6 months that I want than there's been in like that same number of years. So I've been spending a lot of money, and then I've gotten into the vintage and been spending a lot of money on vintage. And so my collecting spending has gone through the roof. So it's nice to not have anything. They need to slow down for a minute so I can sell some stuff and get back up there.
And that's the quandary though right now, because we were just talking about this on the Bombad cast, which is an upcoming episode that I was able to join. Andy and I were able to join. And I don't hate over marketing right now. I just because like you said,
it's good.
Yeah. And because it gives us options. Like out of the 20 pictures or 15 pictures we put up, there was one thing I liked, which means I can focus, and that's the Huffy child bike. I'm going to own. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, but I think that's good because we're gonna reinvigorate some interest. Look, it takes proliferation. It takes like just massive overload to get people to see it sometimes, and I think that's what's happening right now. So Christmas is coming. They're obviously doing some marketing the right way,
but the pre-orders by large aren't coming out in time for Christmas.
I don't think that the pre-orders aren't, because why? They're kind of the collectible type. They're targeted at us. But guess what? I guarantee there's a Huffy bike that's going to be on the
Yeah.
shelves. I
I
guarantee
was going to
there's
say, they have been doing that because with the Walmart stuff, everybody was furious because they pre-ordered it and then people were finding them in the brick and mortar before they got their
Yeah.
pre-orders.
yeah.
So
But I just think that the trinkety things, look, they're obviously on a track with the child. The child mold is built, it's easily replicatable. They're making them from all
Everything.
different sources. Now we're getting different iterations where they're animatronic or it's a plush with a punching bag, whatever. However, I think that's what they're targeting right now is if we have a Star Wars Christmas, that's going to carry Star Wars clout into the next year for sure. You got kids on bikes, you got kids with plushies, you got kids with pop sockets, and they're going to help drive Star Wars into what hopefully for us will be Kenobi, and then another season of Mandalorian, et cetera, et cetera.
Rebels.
That's actually a really good plan for Star Wars, and I don't know if, because we talked about this too, the Rise of Skywalker and the Last Jedi, and even Force Awakens had more merch, but both of those I think were flops from a marketing standpoint for collectibles and toys, because not because they didn't try, but because people didn't buy.
So this actually leads into maybe our last talking point here, because I know we're getting close to the hour mark. But first of all, David over on Facebook says he's very excited for Christmas and already has pre-orders for 2021.
He must be excited for this guy. Jingle all the way, friend.
No, I don't know about that.
Man, I'm gonna make you come over and hold him for a minute.
I don't need to hold him.
Yeah, you do.
But so
I love him.
It's a luxury and a frustration for me.
Okay.
And it's the notion of pre-orders. Because what I'm finding that in the last year, I've moved away from buying things in stores.
I miss that.
Like we have in our town, which is our area is not highly populated. We have a Target and 2 Walmarts, and there is never anything in there unless you're there on the day it arrives when the store opens, because there's people that track and follow that stuff, and we've done it. We've done it. I mean, we're included in that group, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And so I pre-order, which I'm thankful for.
Right.
I'm thankful that I can pre-order, but I'm bummed that I can't buy things in stores because there's either not enough or I'm unable to get there until it's too late. And so I don't know where I'm thankful for the pre-orders, but have I just moved into pre-ordering only and just kind of forget about buying things in stores? Because that to me, that's not fun.
I see.
I mean, it's cool getting packages in the mail. Like getting cool mail is always fun. But I like going out and buying it, like I like going.
You like the tactile experience.
I do. I like the
you like
search,
the early
I like
morning,
the hunt.
yeah.
I like,
Right, Paul, you like that, right?
Yeah, it's nostalgic for me. I remember when I was a kid, I'd run to the Star Wars section at Toys R Us just in case anybody else was also on their way to the Star Wars stuff. I could beat them there, So,
well, I will agree with you, Andy, on that point, because I don't have any fond memories of a pre-order. There wasn't like this time where I was like,
that's not true.
Well, hold on, except for the barge.
The barge was pretty
I know, and I'll have a fond, but I'm saying on the whole, I don't like I remember the time I clicked the button and I got, whatever.
That Mando and Beskar.
Oh my God. But I can remember when we were waiting in line and we were making the staff at Target open boxes because of course it hadn't been properly, executed. And that was universal at Target when they were releasing some Black Series, and these stock people were just kind of, oh yeah, we got some in back, and so we were making people go into the back and get boxes. That's memorable. Then we opened them up, we were in line, one guy got shafted.
Yeah.
Wasn't us.
Yeah.
One guy was just like,
you're welcome,
sorry, you were number 7, there were only 6, so I do agree with you in that. However, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting tired, man. I can't get up that early all the time and go buy
Why not?
toys.
Why not, Josh?
No, I can. I'm getting
At
lazy.
least a mix would be nice to be able to find something in stores and pre-order, but I can't. It's the same thing. My Walmart's got nothing ever.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially like I said, we did an episode with Bombad, and we were looking at past pictures from Phantom Menace, and you're talking about two entire aisles jam packed.
Yeah.
With Star Wars stuff. Not that there's. This is why I'm playing devil's advocate with myself. Not that there's enough hype right now as there were.
You're playing with yourself.
Shut up. As there was with Phantom Menace, but I like the momentum we're getting here. So as a collector, I don't mind the momentum. Yes, they have to be smart. They can't make 100,000 terrible things nobody wants to buy, right? And blurgs,
Constables, Weevos.
yeah, or whatever. So
Speaking of Nick Milky, Nick says pre-orders and bros who spot it and ask if you need it,
there you go.
because that's what Nick does.
Nick does that.
He's
He's
a
good
bro like that.
All right, so let's close this out real quick in 30 seconds or less. Paul, tell us about your feelings on Chapter 9.
I loved it.
That was less than 30 seconds.
True to his word.
He follows
Yeah.
directions.
What was the best part, Paul?
The best part that there weren't really like bad parts. Does that make sense? Like
It does.
I feel like I'm waiting for them to ruin it sometimes, and
That's tough.
and so that
It's
there
not
wasn't
even
anything-
laughable, though. It's truth. That's
Yeah,
truth you're speaking.
There's no
so-
big things to like ruin it, and so everything was good. It was all well done. I prefer the old stuff. So somebody was like, "Oh, it was all vintage." No, there were a few things that weren't vintage. The pod racer speeder, and then there was I can't remember what the one other thing was.
R5.
But yeah, R5's vintage though.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What
Yeah.
was I thinking? R5
You weren't thinking R5.
No,
Dummy.
sorry.
But yeah, it was well done. I liked it, and then obviously the return of some characters and things that.
Did
Yeah,
you?
are
So
nostalgic.
you were not annoyed by that?
No, I maybe they overdid it just a little bit, but not enough to really annoy me.
Because there's some annoyance out there.
There is
Yeah,
some.
sometimes
like,
they try a little too hard. It's like you don't need to throw that.
like
much in
they're
there.
don't go there because I don't want you to ruin it. Because
yeah,
And they didn't. They didn't. They
They did.
almost did.
they almost
But
did. Yeah,
this is what. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was surprised when they called the bartender is the weak way, right? That
Yeah.
one I was like, really, it's weak way, but
Oh,
that's like hey human.
yeah,
human.
Well, I suppose now here's the pushback for that, Paul. Here's my response to that. When you live in a galaxy where there's multiple humanoid species and you don't know the name of them, you probably call them by the species, like
yeah. And if that's a species, then that makes sense. I don't know enough about weak way. I just
Like
thought that
Paul,
was neat.
we call you the Californian,
yeah.
soon to be
the
Uton.
utopian.
Utini.
But I like that because that's very good point. They almost went too far, but then I commented on our review. I liked how some of it there it is, because they were like, he walks in, I'm like, because he gets told that I found a little stretchy, like when in the very beginning with the fight scene in the fight scene
In the Gamorrean.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like, there's a Mandalorian on Tatooine, and Amanda's like, Tatooine, and he was basically like, I was just there.
It's like
Wasn't a Mandalorian there? I was a Mandalorian there. Is that who you heard about? And then and then you're like, okay, we know then you're like, oh, we know it's Boba because we're going back to Tatooine. But I was a little annoyed with that. But then when they got there, he was like, I'm looking for a Mando, a guy that looks like me. And he's like, you mean the Marshal? And he's like, who's? And he's like, right there. And I was like, I like that. Thank you. So it wasn't this like hunt for Boba Fett in, Boba
that was
Fett's
nice.
armor.
And
He
I
was
didn't
right
know.
there.
Go ahead.
No, that's all. He was just right there. He came in, took off the helmet, and we were into Cobb Vanth, just like that. No question, no mystery. The flashback wasn't canon accurate, which is interesting. So does that mean canon's been rewritten?
Well, it's kind of.
It's not. It's 100% not canon accurate.
Well, he does clear out of town.
No, I mean the flashback of how he gets the armor is just not.
Oh, okay.
The only way they tied that back in was because the Miners Guild came in and took over the vacuum of Jabba being lost. But he acquired the armor by shooting a Miners Guild guy who was there trying to communicate with Jawas, and he actually translated for him. He's like, here's how you deal with these Jawas. Everything you're seeing right here is crap. The good stuff's in the back.
Right.
And that's how he, and he went back there, saw the armor himself, and was like, I want that. And the guy's like, I'll take it. And then he shot the Miners Guild dude. Cobb Vanth was not the best guy, and then took the armor. So,
and
anyway,
then
sorry, there's my
yeah.
end game canon. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of it was that it was 53 minutes long.
Exactly.
I didn't even know it was that long. I would have. Yeah, it was good. You know, it's good because I didn't know it was that long.
That's perfect.
Your butt doesn't feel 50-minute. Like you've been sitting for 53 minutes. Yeah, there wasn't. I didn't have like fan service stuff. Like I don't mind it at all.
I don't hate fan service stuff at
all.
all.
I don't mind it at all. And I think
the term fan service was made up by someone who's grumpy.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I'm a fan. Serve me.
Service me.
No. Serve me. There's a big difference.
Oh,
all right. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Comic Bricks here.
Yeah. And Comic Bricks, he was in our chat, and I know he's got issues. That's okay.
But his point here, and I think it just speaks to the larger point. He says, I'm personally not a fan of reviving characters. Knowing Favreau and Filoni's work with Maul and all that, I think they'll do a great job. So I'm not worried anymore.
That's actually pretty good because his initial reaction was not super favorable from.
Right. So we've got Clone Wars, Rebels, season 1 of Mandalorian. As far as like Filoni goes, he's earned the right to mess around. Right.
Sure.
What he's put together, his resume is pretty solid. And even though bringing Maul back originally was like,
it was
like, how are they going to do this?
Service-y,
like
I
how he was cut in half and he fell down his shaft, and like, but what they then did with him was pretty awesome. And so in Favreau, he's not only the owner, he's also a client kind of deal. He's earned it, right? They've both earned the right to dabble in the possibilities of Boba Fett.
Okay.
And so I don't
But wasn't
I'm with Comic Bricks here. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
And you're not worried about reviving characters. I don't need any other characters revived, personally.
Now, if somebody else wants to revive a character, I would be a little worried, and as I think a lot of people would, because
what if we get a deep fake Luke cameo? Is that going to piss someone off?
In Kenobi?
What if it ends up being like Commander Cody? It's not even Boba.
Well,
then
people
have talked about that.
I still trust that they're going to handle it in a way that makes sense, that isn't going to smear the legacy of Cody. Or, whatever. I mean, Cody's got a bummer rep right now anyway, where we last left him. Mm-hmm. But I just think they're in the right hands to, if anyone was going to take Boba Fett and bring him back in some form or fashion, the right people are doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. And everybody wants Boba. If it wasn't, it would almost be stupid. Yeah. I feel like it'd be stupid if it was somebody else, but you never know.
Gilster's right too. Story's more important. So that's the issue. It doesn't matter who they revive or who they bring back or who they, fan serve. If it's a good story, it doesn't matter. And that's how I felt about Chapter 9. I felt like it was a good story. It was fun enough that I didn't feel like I was watching an over-the-top blockbuster movie. It was long enough that you felt like you were watching a movie. And it brought itself back. I mean, I was a little nervous about the crate dragon. Especially upon second watching, I kind of went like, is our scale right here? Which is funny because they make a scale comment in the show. But I was a little like, is our scale? The whole like, he's coming through town, eats a bantha, then he doesn't, the crate dragon doesn't want a bantha anymore. I mean, we can pick it apart, but I like that because guess what? It's still a series. It's still an A-Team episode. We have to have a beginning, a middle, and a resolution with a continuing plot that carries us on, right? But I wasn't too worried. I know. There we go. Clicky. I wasn't too worried about. I just am like you. I'm not too worried. And by the way, didn't Favreau write and direct that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So the Filoni wasn't even involved, even though it's kind of Filoni's.
He's involved.
Well, come on. You think
Yeah.
Favreau's just like write that down? Write it.
Oh, yeah.
That
Good
sounds
point.
good.
Yeah,
Good
he
point,
smoked.
Shabby.
What did Shabby say?
He said Cody would be far too old or even dead by now.
Yeah, he would be. The clones would any clone would be at this point. We saw how old Rex was in Return of the Jedi. He was
And Endor.
fragile.
Yeah. He went back and got on a trike motorcycle and rode around. He went to the Dakotas. Anyway,
I really loved the interaction with the Tusken Raiders, and that
me
was like
too. Thank you.
believable. Yeah. It was very believable and real, and I feel like that's what the original trilogy had so well, is that Luke was like your normal teenage kid that didn't want to do chores, and it was like, but you could relate to that. You know what I mean? He just wants to go out and shoot stuff and be with his friends and have a cause.
And their interactions with Jawas was authentic. You know, it was like, well, how about that one? You know,
yeah, he's trying to push a deal over on. You know what I mean? And so that's what I loved about the original trilogy. That I feel like the prequel, you know, the others didn't have as much of that. Where there's more like, oh, there's just Jar Jar and like less like realistic. And so I feel like Mandalorian is bringing that believable. Like it's just quality. I don't know how. I know you know what I'm talking about.
You're following just a select group of characters in an intimate way. That's the difference. Your point to the prequels was this big 30,000 foot view of the politics of the Senate with a thread of Anakin running through the middle. It just never was intimate, though. Yeah, I was too worried about Tim's thighs. We need to get on that. As a matter of fact, you don't need a cheeseburger. Send the $5 to us. We'll send it to Timothy Elephant. Get those thighs burning.
Yeah,
come on. Now he's a handsome dude. Oh,
yeah. Wow. Last thing I'll say, I cracked up, and I still crack up when the crate dragon ate the Tusken Raider instead of the band.
I know that was my point.
I was
they looked at
each other like Murray's gone. You know,
yeah. Murray.
No, they went.
The Tusken Raider.
Mando and Cobb look at each other like, oh, brother. But the Tusken Raiders are like, duh!
Yeah, a sacrifice we're willing to make.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the Banthas just sitting there.
I will say that
not flinching.
Not
enormous thing. Just
it moved to the left. It just kind of moved off. You know, just moved.
But he was staying down, right?
Yeah,
yeah. It just kind of moved. But no, I will say that the
cracked me up.
Gosh, what is it? When the crate is spitting out, alien juice, it was only Tusken Raiders that got the burn there. Go back and watch.
They took
pretty much Tusken Raiders.
They took the brunt for sure.
They took the vomit. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think thanks for joining us for another Mando Monday, Paul. Thank you. Any final words?
Oh, it's just an honor to be a part of it again. And
do you have a Twitter handle yet? Because I know like 7 people that would love to follow you.
I do have a Twitter. I have only used it. I have like 10 pictures on. Oh, Twitter? No, I don't have Twitter still.
All right. We'll have to rectify that before the next time.
Instagram. All right. Well, maybe I'll fix that.
Come on, Paul. How are you going to sell that DT Luke?
Yeah.
Spare one. That's spare one. Yeah. No. Seriously, call me. We'll barge it up.
The spare one.
Spare.
I have
do you have spares?
Let's see it. Come on. Paul's going to show us something.
I picked up a bunch of Bobas too.
Yeah, you do have a number of those. I remember.
He's got a Boba cattle call.
Yep. There's 26 there.
There's a graded one.
How many are there?
Oh, yeah.
29. 45. How
2 graded. Oh, yeah. Sorry, your screen was.
Yeah, I picked up
beautiful, Paul.
I got some of those recently too. But
it's a handsome shelf there, buddy.
So
all right. Well, I'm gonna go swap out my Funkaderm patch and
Funkaderm. Hashtag Funkaderm.
But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Catch us on the rewind. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Yeah, make sure you just like this video. If you're in the chat with us, just hit like on your way out. That helps us out.
That'd be great.
Gets us into the airwaves. More people like you can watch us and share and have fun. We really, really appreciate you guys for joining us. Every time we're on. A lot of the people in the chat are the people we see all the time, and you guys are awesome. We just want more people like you. How about that?
Appreciate it very, very much.
Stay tuned for more Beyond the Blast Doors episodes this week. Of course, we've got shows every single day of the week. You know them, Beyond the Blast Doors Live, Around the Galaxy, Bombad Cast, and then Fridays we've got our Mando reviews, which we're going to do around 1-2 p.m. Central or Eastern. So join us for that, where you guys have enough time to get up in the morning, get your butts up in the morning, watch The Mandalorian Chapter 10, and then join us. Last week it was so much fun because there was just so much chat going on. We had content coming in from the chat, which is great because I was watching that thing with sleep in my eyes.
We're giddy.
I was giddy. We were all giddy, and you guys are noticing things that we didn't notice. So join us in the chat. Tell your friends to join us in the chat. Tell your mom. And what were you pointing at, Andy?
Well, I was gonna say that Shannon is retiring Postcards from Galaxy's Edge for the time being.
Yeah.
After her last Moment That Star Wars Spoke to Me video came out.
Go check that out.
Which was awesome.
Very awesome.
All 4 of those videos are very, very good. And then what she plans on doing, and there will be more information coming out. Our patrons already know about this, but we are going to be doing, and she will be heading this up Thursday night, game night on Canto Bite game night, where she will be streaming Star Wars games like Squadrons or Fallen Order.
Or any Star Wars game, vintage Star Wars games, and she'll be joined by Scotty from the Bombad Cast as well, or one of us, honestly.
And we'll be putting up like our N64 games or our
some Shadows of the Empire,
exactly,
yeah.
or even like some old school Jedi Arena for the Atari.
Oh boy, no, but yeah, something like that.
A Rogue Squadron, for the 64.
Yeah. Get the expansion pack.
I love that game.
All right, yeah. So join us. Thanks for joining us. Follow us at Holochronicles and BeyondTheBlastDoors.com. Thank you for joining the Holochronicles. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
You're the man.
Thank you, guys.
We hope to have you on again soon. And that's it for us. You guys have a good night.
Go play with your toys.
Go play with your toys.